If you're still exploring AI right now, you're already behind. I know that's a bold opening. When I say you're behind, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to make you feel the cost. Because here's what's happening while you're exploring. Your competitors, companies similar to yours, with similar teams and similar budgets, are moving from experimentation into execution. They picked a use case 6 months ago, they implemented it, they measured it, they expanded it, and now they're 6 months into compounding that advantage. Think about compound interest. Most people think of it as a positive force, money growing on money. Returns building on returns. But compound interest works in reverse too. Every month you don't act is a month your competitor builds capability you don't have. Every month you explore is a month they're executing. Every month you wait is a month that gap gets harder to close. Let me show you exactly why I believe that, and more importantly, what to do about it. That's the cost of staying in exploration mode. Let me describe something I call the exploration trap. It starts innocently enough. A company gets serious about AI. Leadership attends a conference. The CEO watches some YouTube videos. The team has a strategy session about what AI could mean for the business. They feel like they're doing something, and in a way, they are. So they keep exploring. They hire someone to do an AI assessment. They get a report. The report is 45 pages long and says a lot of important sounding things. And then everyone goes back to their desks. Nothing changes. Meanwhile, not far away, a competitor who maybe has less money and fewer people made a simple decision. They said, "We're going to automate our proposal process." That's it. Just that one thing. They didn't need a 45-page report. They just needed a decision. 3 months later, their sales reps are producing proposals in 90 minutes instead of 6 hours. They're responding to RFPs faster, they're winning more deals, they're building momentum. That company didn't outthink you, they outcommitted you. And that's the exploration trap. Exploration feels like progress, but it's not progress until something changes. Let me be direct about this distinction. Exploration is gathering information. Execution is changing outcomes. The companies I work with aren't spending their energy asking, what can AI do for us? They're asking, where does AI directly impact our cost structure, our revenue, and our speed of delivery? That's a fundamentally different question. It forces specificity, it forces prioritization, it forces a decision. And once you make that decision, even if it's imperfect, you start learning things you could never learn from exploring. You learn what actually works in your specific business. You learn how fast your team can adapt. You learn where the real friction is, not where you assumed it was. That kind of learning only comes from doing. Let me show you the difference between a company still exploring and one already executing. The exploring company is asking, what AI tools should we be using? The executing company already has 2 use cases running and is measuring their impact. The exploring company is sending people to AI webinars. The executing company is reviewing last month's AI-driven metrics in their leadership meeting. The exploring company has an AI committee that meets quarterly. The executing company has an AI owner with a budget and a deliverable. The exploring company talks about AI transformation. The executing company has already transformed 2 workflows and is moving to the next. These aren't big companies with massive technology teams. They're companies exactly like yours. I want to say something that I think a lot of people need to hear. The real risk in 2026 isn't moving too fast with AI. The real risk is moving too slow. Because we are at the point where AI is transitioning from a differentiator into a baseline. Right now, using AI well is a competitive advantage. That window is closing. In 3 years, maybe sooner, not using AI will be a competitive disadvantage. Think about email in the 1990s. For a brief window, companies using email had an edge. Then it became table stakes. You weren't winning because you used email. You were losing because you didn't. AI is at that inflection point right now. And if you're still exploring, still attending webinars, still running assessments, still waiting to feel ready. The risk isn't AI. The risk is hesitation. Because the companies moving right now, they're not just getting ahead of you on tools. They're building organizational muscle you can't buy later. The learning that comes from actually running AI inside a business, the cultural shifts, the workflow knowledge, the data, that's not transferable. You have to live it. And the sooner you start, the more of it you accumulate. So the question isn't whether AI matters. It does. The question is whether you're going to start building that muscle now or watch someone else do it first. I want to give you something practical before we close. If you've been in exploration mode and you want to shift into execution, here is the fastest way to do it. Step 1. Pick one process. Just one. Not the most complex process. Not the one with the highest potential upside. The one that is repetitive, manual, and happens consistently every week. That's your starting point. Step 2. Define what success looks like in 90 days. Not a vague improvement, a specific, measurable outcome. If you're automating your client reporting process, success might look like reports now take 45 minutes instead of 6 hours, and quality is consistent across all clients. Write that down. That's your target. Step 3. Name an owner. One person. Give them the mandate to make this work. Not a committee that meets monthly, a person who owns the outcome and reports progress weekly. Step 4. Pick the simplest tool that solves the problem. Not the most impressive one, the most appropriate one. The goal is a working solution in 30 days, not a perfect one in 6 months. Step 5. Measure and review at 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. What worked? What didn't? What do we adjust? That 5-step process, from exploration to measurable execution, can happen in your business in the next 30 days. You don't need more research. You don't need a consultant's report. You need a decision and a 30-day clock. I want to leave you with a mental model that I think reframes this entire conversation. Think about what's happened with digital marketing over the last 15 years. In 2010, a company that was great at digital marketing had a real edge. They could acquire customers more efficiently. They could reach audiences their competitors couldn't. Today, digital marketing is table stakes. Every company does it. The edge has compressed. AI is going through that same cycle, but it's moving faster. The companies building AI capability today are where the digital-first companies were in 2012. They have a window, a real, meaningful window, to establish an advantage that compounds. That window doesn't stay open forever. I'm not telling you this to create urgency for urgency's sake. I'm telling you this because I've seen what happens to companies who wait, and I've seen what happens to companies who move. The movers build capability that compounds. The waiters play catch-up in a market where the gap keeps growing. Which side of that equation do you want to be on? The companies already executing on AI aren't betting on a trend. They're making a business decision, the same way they make every other serious business decision, with intention, with accountability, and with a clear outcome in mind. I want to help you make that same kind of decision. If you want to move from exploration to execution, and you want to do it with a clear plan, not just a leap of faith, book a strategy session. We'll identify exactly where AI matters most in your specific business, what to do first, and how to measure it. No more exploring, time to build. Link is below.